So here's the deal, folks. This video is about Lisa Bonet. I'm going to talk about why she left a different world, and then, of course, I'm going to talk about her departure from the Cosby Show as well. And yes, there's no way around it. I'm going to talk about the man who played her TV dad, Bill Cosby. But I want to make it absolutely clear. This video is about Lisa, and let me just say it, the super crappy way that she was treated oh so many years ago. Case in point, I'm going to share an article with you by this feller, TV critic Gary Deeb, that is absolutely frustrating to read knowing what we know now. But enough about Gary, at least for the moment. After all, we're here to talk about this cutie instead. Lisa was only 17 when she landed the role of Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show. And wouldn't you know it, she quickly became one of the show's breakout stars. Yep, before you could even say Jell-O pudding pops, Lisa was all over the covers of various magazines. She truly was a rising star. And she was part of a television phenomenon. The squeaky clean, picture-perfect family on The Cosby Show. During the mid-'80s, I don't think you could get any more wholesome than the Huxtable clan. And the mastermind behind it all was this man. He knew what American audiences wanted and what they didn't want. And believe it or not, Lisa was a big part of his master plan. In fact, she was so popular that Bill, along with the powers that be at NBC, made the decision to have her headline her own spin-off show that was originally going to be titled Hillman, named after the school where Cliff Huxtable got his college degree and where his TV daughter, Denise, would do the same.
Say hello to a new show.
Oh, I'm Denise Huxtable. I'm Jaleesa. I'm from Minnesota. I'm Marsha.
Hi. Say hello to Lisa Bonet in her very own comedy series.
Yes!
It's a classy, brassy, ambitious, delicious, wiggling, giggling, brainy, zany good show. Premiering Thursday, September 24th. It's a different world.
However, before that show even got off the ground, Lisa did something that threatened to tarnish the Cosby Show's G-rated image. No, I'm not talking about this magazine cover, although I'm pretty sure that Bill wasn't pleased with it. Or maybe he was. Who's to say these days? Nope, the first thing that she did that really upset the chief of Cosby Incorporated was to sign on to this movie. Anyone else remember Angel Heart? I've only seen it once, a very long time ago. It had an intriguing premise and a wonderful cast, which included Robert De Niro. But the movie became notorious way back then for earning an X rating. It would turn out that many of Lisa's steamy scenes with Mickey Rourke had to be dramatically altered to get that film an R rating. And then to top things off, Lisa got pregnant. The father was a then unknown rocker who went by the name of Romeo Blue. Not long after this announcement, Romeo Blue made the decision to go by his real name. And wouldn't you know it, he had much greater success when people just called him Lenny. And that little baby who was hanging out in Lisa's belly, well, she would turn out to be a pretty darn good Catwoman. But I'm getting way off track here. Let's get back to Lisa.
Bill Cosby called a meeting in Hollywood last night with the writers and producers of A Different World. The star of the series, Lisa Bonet, who is married to musician Leonard Kravitz, is pregnant. Now the hot question is how to deal with her character.
Action.
Entertainment Tonight has learned that the show's producers are now trying to decide whether to hide her pregnancy or to have Bonet's character, Denise Huxtable, get married. We've also learned that another scenario would have her getting married, getting pregnant, and returning to The Cosby Show. It had been reported that Lisa Bonet's nude appearance in last month's Rolling Stone hadn't made Bill Cosby very happy. In spite of the fact that her pregnancy then offered an ideal opportunity to replace her, there are no plans at present to drop Bonet from the Cosby family.
While this article stated that there was no immediate word on how her pregnancy would affect her role on A Different World, it was soon decided that instead of trying to hide her pregnancy, or perhaps even writing it into the show's storyline, it would be best for Lisa to leave the show. So she was told that she would be returning to The Cosby Show, which, with everything going on in her world, didn't seem like all that bad of a plan. At first, this seemed like a great solution for all, but then something happened. Something that no one saw coming, but someone really should have. And yes, we can blame it all on Roseanne. And maybe The Simpsons just a little bit, for you see, there were new sitcoms that were routinely beating The Cosby Show week after week. And those families, well, they were nothing like the Huxtables. So Bill, he did a little thinking, and he made some decisions. New, younger characters would be added to the show. And other characters, well, they would have to go. And one of those departing characters was Denise. Bill thought that for whatever reason, he never really developed that character very much. She was kind of bland in his mind. And Bill said as much to the press. Trying to take the heat away from Lisa, he said that he blamed himself for not making Denise a more provocative character. It was a sad way to announce Lisa's departure from the show, but at least it felt honest and accurate. I don't know what to think about Gary Deeb's article. Some of the things that he says in this piece that ran nationally run contrary to what Bill was saying publicly about Lisa. And even if it was accurate, it wasn't kind. He called her washed up. He referenced a Cosby insider who said that she slept her way off the show, and that her attitude had been a major drain on the show, and on poor Bill himself. The final paragraph is a doozy, attributed to another NBC insider. It's just so cruel. Deebs writes, "The girl had the world at her feet, but she never understood the first thing about work ethic. Bill gave her every chance. Now it's over." Wow. Who says that? Talk about kicking someone when they're down. I don't have words for how bad I feel about the way that Lisa was treated. The reality is, and this may surprise you, but it shouldn't, lots of television shows make huge changes when the ratings begin to suffer, and The Cosby Show did the exact same thing. It usually doesn't work, and it didn't work for The Cosby Show either. But blaming Lisa for all of the show's problems, well, that's just wrong. One last quote from Gary Deebs, who said, "Today she's as cold and forlorn as last week's potato salad. But any tears shed for her would be wasted indeed." Well, you know what, Gary? Last week's potato salad has managed to carve out a pretty decent career. She was in Will Smith's big hit from the late 90s, Enemy of the State. Remember that one? And being a big fan of the TV show New Girl from a few years back, I remember seeing her on that. She also played a recurring character on Showtime's Ray Donovan. But her biggest role, after getting dropped from The Cosby Show, has been without a doubt being a mom. She's actually got 3 kids now. There's Zoe, and then there's 2 more fairly young kids who she had with actor Jason Momoa after they got married in 2017. Oh, and one more thing. Here's what Lisa had to say about her TV dad back in 2018. She says that back when they were working together on The Cosby Show, she sensed a dark, sinister energy coming from him. She also added, however, that she wasn't aware of any inappropriate behavior by him and she didn't want to judge him. Instead, she felt like the best thing to do was to leave it all to karma and justice. So there you go. Now you know. Ultimately, Lisa was dropped from The Cosby Show for no other reason than a last-ditch attempt to remain relevant. But life has a way of working out. Lisa calls it karma and justice, and you know what? I think she's right. What do you think? Did Bill and NBC do Lisa dirty when they had her leave a different world and then dropped her from the final season of The Cosby Show? Let me know in the comments section, and while you're at it, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on that little thumbs up icon. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and I talk about music, movies, and mostly TV from decades gone by. You know, the good stuff.